I mean, listen, we did a lot of really good things, and we were right there, and clearly had a bad couple minutes that got away from us. We were not disciplined for 40 minutes. I thought we played hard. I thought we wanted it. It felt different than the Colorado game. I thought our guys were engaged. Our discipline broke down. That's a big, strong team. I think we see that we got to get stronger in the weight room. We got to get bigger in recruiting. But we did a lot of good things. I mean, that's a team that's picked to win their league. They had a lot of key guys back, had some good transfers. So we have to have a short memory. We got to learn from it, and we got to move on.
There were two stretches I want to ask you about, kind of along the same vein though. First half, you guys take a 19-18 lead. In the half, it kind of seemed like every bucket for you guys was like a real tough bucket, and every bucket for them seemed to kind of become an easy off a mistake or a turnover. But you guys take a 19-18 lead, kind of had been answering every punch they threw, and then 8 of their next 11 came off turnovers, points off turnovers.
Yeah.
There's about a 3-minute stretch where they go on a 13-2 run. It seemed like that kind of got away from you guys a little bit, but then you guys fought back, and then to close the game, it just seemed like you guys couldn't hit a shot.
Yeah.
The final 10.
Yeah. They are very good at turning teams over, number one in the country, so give them credit there. House obviously had 7, Mash had 5. We need those guys to not turn the ball over, obviously. But I thought we fought back. I thought they'd turn us over because that's what they do. They sell out a little bit. They've got good length. I thought the breakdown at the end just cost us the game. The first half we fought back. We were solid. We were in the bonus, missed some free throws. Made a couple mistakes defensively that we got to get better at, get tougher at. That's the biggest thing. I mean, the offense, when we didn't turn it over, it was good. But when we turned it over, it was a problem.
Mash had 19 in the second half. It seemed like they really made a point, wisely so, to not let him even touch the ball there down the stretch. Did you see them kind of change that a little bit and kind of start denying him a little bit more?
Well, I thought it was more we were turning the ball over. It was, they deny anyway, and I think their cuts have got to be good, but we had some empty possessions just by kind of losing our mind a little bit offensively because we needed to get him the ball because he was cooking a little bit. We panicked, but young team who hasn't been in that position before, much like we learned, I thought, from Colorado in a lot of ways with our attitude, now we got to learn about our discipline.
I'm not suggesting you're okay with the loss or the outcome. But you don't seem nearly as mad tonight as you were at Colorado. Is that because did you guys play better tonight?
I thought our attitude was a problem versus Colorado. I didn't think our attitude was bad. I hate losing. I want our guys to hate losing. But I thought it was more of a just discipline. Not necessarily not doing what we want them to do, but just discipline to dig in there, grind it out. I think there's a lot of teaching moments for this. I thought Colorado, we had some attitudes that really upset me. But again, in our 2 losses, we've been right there. We just have to find a way. We won a close game versus Montana State. It's not that we haven't done that. And FAU. We just got to find a way to stay confident, to stay positive, to stay disciplined through adversity. So pissed off about losing. I want our guys to hate it. But we also got to have a short memory. There's not a lot of guys who played in an environment where you got to go right away the next game, the next day.
And then Saquon, I wanted to ask about his return. He did get on the court, missed some free throws. Frankly, he missed some free throws last year too.
Yeah,
he looked good overall, I thought.
I thought he looked good. The hard part was that we were in the double bonus early, and he's just not a great free throw shooter, and that's the problem. Because I like him. I like his game a lot. He's got length. He plays hard. He's probably had some jitters. Was out 2 months. But he gave us some good things. But when you're in a free throw shooting game like that, it's hard to keep him in. So we'll keep working on it.
I mean, he drew 6 of those fouls that got you guys in the bonus.
Yeah.
So there's some benefit, but he's got to make some.
Yep.
So you talked about attitude and how that was different from Colorado. But Jalen House is usually a little bit more calm, and there was a moment during the second half where he kind of fell out of the court and he ended up kicking something behind the other team's bench. Why do you feel like that was more frustrating than any other moment really for him?
Well, I think he just wasn't playing well, and I think he wants to win. He's a competitor. He was frustrated. He didn't have a great game. That's what we're talking about, where it's different than he didn't have a bad attitude, but he holds himself to a high standard, and he's just got to move on. You got to keep moving on. Whatever the next play is, you move on. You stay confident. You play the right way. So he'll learn from it. And everybody's got significantly increased roles on this roster. Every one of them. I think all of them are going to be really good, but not all of them played a lot. Mash is really the only one who played a lot, and he looks like a guy who's maybe, so they'll learn from it. We were right there. We had a bad couple minutes.
Javonte Johnson had a pretty good shooting night.
Yeah.
What could you say about his consistency so far this season?
He has been very, very consistent. Love it. He's shooting the ball very, very well. He's got to rebound it better, but he's undersized at that 4. He's more of a 3. But I like what he's been doing offensively. But, we got to we can't give a team 86 points. We won't win like that. Toughness and defense, that's what wins, especially on the road, especially not in front of fans, although we had a good crowd, which I appreciate. But we got to shore up that defense. And a lot of it's the rebounding. I don't think it's the initial defense.
And this was going to be one of your biggest challenges so far, and the pace was pretty fast. How do you feel overall that how you guys were prepared and versus how it went?
I thought we were right there. I did. I thought their experience showed towards the end. There's a lot of teaching moments, but we got to have a short memory. It's a holiday for these guys. I told them, listen, I'm upset about the loss. We broke down at the end. Move on. Enjoy your family if they're in town. Get some rest. The most important thing now is we go 1-on-1. That's it. And then we obviously have a huge week moving forward.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
We'll watch some film. That's about it. So watch our game and watch this game. And, that's just part of being a basketball coach. We don't get a lot of Thanksgiving and we don't get a lot of Christmas, but that's okay. It's what I love to do. So back to work.